can you tell me, what does the divine feminine and or goddess mean to you, and how that relates to feminine energy?
So I'll start with the phrase divine feminine. I have a confession first, which is that it's not a phrase that I use very often. And it's a phrase that I sometimes feel really uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think it's really important to look at that. So I was thinking about, what does the divine feminine stand for me? And what is that discomfort about? And I think one way to express it is to say that for me, the divine feminine is everything that we repress.
Mm.
I think it is everything that we just wish would go away and that we find very confronting. And I think that goes for all people, irrespective of their gender. So I think that what we are seeing throughout history, and it feels like we're seeing it in a very, very sharp way at this time and in recent years, we're seeing that wound, and we're seeing the damage that happens when we repress emotions and body and our connection to nature and our innocence. That's what the divine feminine is for me.
I think that's a really beautiful answer. In a way, it feels very, first of all, it feels very honoring of, like you said, all that we repress, but it also feels very boundless. It's not definable, really. The divine feminine can't be pinned down to one thing, because she is this thing is so, it's just beyond definition. I really appreciate that perspective.
Thank you. I also think the question that always arises for me is, why do we label this in a gendered way? And this is a question that I've struggled with for years and years. And when I was writing my PhD and working on gendered perspectives of the body in classical Indian dance, this is something that I looked at a lot. And I realized that there is a good reason for it. And the reason is that one of the elements that is repressed in our society at large is woman, and everything that woman is, and female bodies and female voices. So in terms of society and social terms, woman represents and embodies and lives all that is repressed. And I think that is why we call this the divine feminine as opposed to the divine masculine.
Right.
But I think the other piece that we must acknowledge and include is that divine feminine applies to everyone irrespective of gender. Right. So, I mean, I've seen this over and over again in my work as a relationship coach, where I've worked a lot with men. I've seen how patriarchy damages men. And it is because their emotions are repressed. They are not supposed to express certain emotions. They are supposed to dissociate from the body and from pain. And it really damages them. So that's why, for me, it's just as important for men to revel in their own divine femininity as it is for women.